gentlemen, welcome on into the How You Getting On podcast. We are here today to talk about a very, very important subject. But joining me is, of course, the very legendary man himself, IrishGenesis. Genesis, how are you getting on today?
Sorry, pal. How are we getting on?
Doing it very, very good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You know, vibing out.
Why you been out? Sure,
Enjoy,
look.
yeah, enjoying myself. You know,
You're
been loving fucking life lately.
Yeah, no, you're doing well on the Twitch, man, as well. I see you've kind of gone back into your niche with the GTA, and it's doing very well for you.
Yeah, no, this new server's insane. Like, it's so good. Like, and the fact it's only up like not even 2 weeks yet. What we're doing with it and the people we've got involved and the ideas and projects we put forward, and it's going to be insane. Like, it's honestly, it has so much potential. Like, honestly, if anyone hasn't, or if you do play GTA RP, you have to check out Galaxy RP. No bullshit.
Galaxy RP. There you go. Check it out. Yeah, I mean, I played RP with you before in GTA, and it's so fun. Like, if you have a personality, I feel like GTA is a really good game for you. I know a lot of guys even tried it out who may be on different games right now, but it's really a good kind of game to play to put your personality as like the front of everything. So, you know what I mean? So it can be really good for content.
100%. Like, it's the beauty of it is like you can be yourself, but you can also be someone else, and that's the beauty of it. Like, and you won't get judged for that. You know what I mean? Like, you can, you know, if you've ever like, you know, had this mad idea, oh, I'd love to be like Tony Montana or Scarface. I'd love to be fucking, you know, Bruce Willis Die Hard. You know, you can do that, and that's the beauty of it. Like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the staff team, obviously everyone involved is amazing. Like, the team we have put together, it's all like I love about it is all they're all mature adults. They're all sensible. They all like have the heads on the shoulders, you know, and we all work together so well. So like it's mad because when I first joined it, I joined it because it was obviously a mate of mine, Plugsy's. It was his server, like, and a couple other lads with him, and he asked me, like, he was talking about it, and I jumped on. And then he asked me about doing staff work, and I said, "Yeah, fuck it, why not?" Like, you know what I mean? And because like I have no problem in putting these fuckers in their place, like, you know what I mean? I've no time for
Policeman
yeah.
Genesis laying down the law.
So we worked our way up, and now we're community manager over there. So literally, I handle all like anyone's complaints and just make sure everyone's happy and that they are sorted when they come into the city. You know, look after them, get them started. But it's mad. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad to see you get back into that. But yeah, we got a big topic for the podcast today. So, me and Genesis, obviously, you know, we get together and we chat prior to the podcast. Obviously, you know, we're like, right, what topics are we going to talk about this week? What are we going to go into? And it was a unanimous decision from both of us that there was one topic that's really, really relevant right now, in Irish content creation. There's been a bit of, how do you say, I don't want to say controversy, but there's definitely been a bit of heat online from multiple people in regards to how they feel, you know, Irish content creation is going and their comments about the whole thing. So I feel like if anybody's gonna have a say in it, it's gonna be the likes of me and you, Genesis, who've obviously been around the scene a long time, and I feel like have a word that means something, or should mean something, at least to the community. So with that being said, Genesis, I'll let you start. So in terms of Irish content creation, why have we decided that this is the topic for this week?
So obviously, like, the thing is with me is that it's never going to be solved on Twitter. You know what I mean? People will have opinions and they'll say this and that, you know, and a lot of people get overlooked. You know what I mean? If you don't have a big following and you have an opinion, it's always going to get overlooked. So the reason I want to talk about this is because there's like a lot of people are saying stuff, but they're not actually doing anything. You know what I mean? So we've a lot of content creators out there that I feel personally are just tooting up their own horn. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a bad way or anything. It's just the simple fact is that there's guys out there that are lazy, in my opinion, and they expect credit for the work.
Yeah.
If you're
before we go into this, do you want to give anybody at home who maybe doesn't know the situation a bit of context?
Okay, I'll give him a context about it. So basically, it was Jake McBoss's tweet who came out first, and I seen a lot of people on top of this, and Jake was pointing out that he feels like Irish businesses and companies don't look out for Irish content creators, and like there's nothing happening in the scene. And the light on top of it is obviously there was businesses targeted, which we'll get into later on.
Yeah.
And it's just more so the fact that if the opinions that people are putting on Twitter are they're not like you saying something on that Twitter post isn't going to change it. It's not going to change Irish content. So this is the part where now you guys, if you're an Irish content creator, are listening in. This is your time now to say it how it is. We take it in and we respond and we'll give you the God honest truth, because there's one thing, I won't be around the bush. I'll say it how it is, the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's it. What's your take on it, Chris?
Yeah, so going back to what you said, kind of just to revamp here on the context. So I seen Jake McBoss put up the tweet and he was like, Irish companies are shy, kind of esports are shy, kind of the creators are shy, we need to do something about it. And I see a lot of people in the comments, kind of having a similar mindset, being like, Irish people don't support each other and this and that, and we're not really going anywhere with our content and with who we have, in the content creation scene. But there's definitely more to it than what sees the eye. I feel like with Jake's tweet, he definitely put everybody on blast with it. But I feel like with some of the direction from the comments, that it wasn't really deserved in some way, shape, or form. Now, don't get me wrong. If we're going to do a direct comparison of who's getting put on blast here, talking about Irish esports, all right, realistically, there's no esports orgs in the country at the moment, or at least none of value mentioning. And then you have the likes of the Legion, who, of course, I work for. And we do Irish events and stuff. And, naturally, you're like, right, this is one of the brands here who's being put on blast because it's obviously Irish, it's esports, and it's one of the companies trying to do something here. But I did talk to Jake. I did talk to him on a stream, and he confirmed that. I was like, listen, it's like Legion are trying to do bits, and I do respect that, but it wasn't a direct hit at them. Now, I see, some guys talking about how events are done in the country and this and that in some of the comments, but just directly going in on the whole Legion angle, I feel like it's very easy to say this isn't done right and this isn't done right and this is shite and this is shite. But realistically, in this country right now, regardless of what level people want it to be at, things like the Legion are the foundations to move upon and the foundations to move forward with. Whether you respect it, whether you don't, that's your opinion to make, that's fine. But it's ideas like this, and it's kind of people using initiative and grabbing stuff by the horns and running with it. Like, I've been working with Legion now for 2 years, and don't get me wrong, we run events and we learn from things and we move. And even this year with Legion, production quality and everything's been fucking completely way upscale, and I love that because the guys are really trying. Like, I'm working with a team of guys, they're really trying to put esports on the map in Ireland. They're trying to do something, and I just feel like that it's very easy to disrespect something just because it's not doing well. But if you're not a part of the support process, you're never going to see it kind of flourish. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. So, like, if I'm looking at it from the outside in, so let's take it into this perspective. What Legion are doing right now is they're trying to build a foundation. I'm going to call it a foundation. Right? They're trying to build a foundation of competitive esport gaming. And it's not just in one game, it's over a course of different games. Now, I know a lot of people look at it and they're thinking, well, why are they pouring money into this tournament here when they could be focusing on content creation? Now, I understand both sides here, okay? But at the same time is that, number one, nobody yet understands or knows the funding of Legion. So none of us know what their funds is. We don't know where the money comes from. That's the way you got to look at this, okay? Yeah. You cannot take two things down at once. It's just not going to happen, because if you focus on two things at once, one of the things is going to fail. Yeah. And it's 100%. You have to put 110% into something, one thing at a time. Now, it's not to say that Legion are like, we don't care about content creation, as in we should be focusing on that. Like, we currently doing these tournaments is putting their name out. Now, could there be better ways to post or to get your names out? 100%. There always is. But at the end of the day, these guys aren't professionals. Whether you have a label or not, you're still not a professional, because there's always a learning curve in business, especially inside esports, because esports is so big, it ranges to so many levels. Nobody's a professional going in there. So you can't hate on someone for trying to start something. Okay? If these boys didn't start it, then where are we? We're point blank zero. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely agree with you, and I feel like And no, this is not to say that the comments that were made online are directly a hit at Legion or any other similar brands. We're just using Legion right now as an example of an Irish brand who's actually trying to do something in the scene and that should be supported. But you know, like I know, to quote Jake again, I know he said stuff like, you know, people being the pioneers of content creation, but at the end of the day, it's people like the guys in Legion that are the pioneers of actually getting esports to 11 in Ireland. I mean, right now, Legion, I mean, we're working with Virgin Media. I mean, we're working with Trust Game, and we're working with On Post. And these are companies now, bar Trust Gaming, focused specifically on Virgin here on On Post, that would have never gotten involved with anything got to do with gaming or content creation or like that at all if it wasn't for the likes of Legion. So what's happening is the effect that Legion's having, it's actually leaking into mainstream media. And what's happening is that companies will now be looking at content creators. And I'm a prime example of this. I mean, like, even the likes of entertainment.ie looking at creators, that's all because of Legion. And that's mainstream media you're talking leaking over. So it's companies like this that I feel like should be supported. And you know, like going back to what we said, it's the foundations to build upon. And it's things like this that should be supported in our country and to really bring it forward. Now, going on to some other points there, there was a lot of talk as well about creators not really supporting each other. And, you know, I seen some comments online about, you know, and I feel like this is a very common opinion, but it's so wrong. And I'm going to tell you why very, very briefly. People think that, you know, Irish creators don't support each other. They'd rather watch Ninja instead, or they'd rather watch Dr. Disrespect or Trainwrecks or whoever, instead of supporting their own kind. But realistically, you cannot blame this scene for things like that. You cannot be like, oh, we should support our own because of this and that. Content is king at the end of the day, and a lot of people in the Irish scene, I feel like, hate on each other, and they build kind of how to say, kind of false opinions where they're like, oh, this guy's not supporting me, oh, it's because he's in the Irish scene, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, and Jenny, you're going to completely agree with me here, you're going to agree with me 100%, is content is why I watch people. It's not because of who you know, where they're from. Don't get me wrong, I know you, I know the likes of Jamie J. Carr, I'll support you guys because I'm mates with you, but that's not the sole reason why anybody should be watching your channel. It's because of content. Content is what sells, content is what brings in brands. And I know I tweeted about it and I made a similar comment saying that, you know, this support that you guys are looking for in the Irish scene, it comes from you. It doesn't come from your neighbors who are Irish or people in the scene who are Irish. It comes from you. If you're able to make your content at a level that competes with the UK or with the US, you're going to get noticed, and you're going to bring up not only you, but the Irish scene around you. If you're making that high style of content that's actually attractable to people outside of Ireland, you're going to be doing well for yourself. And I feel like a lot of people expect support homegrown when it's not really deserved.
No, I agree. Like, for me personally, is like there's a lot of boys out there, and this brings it back to the point where I was going to at the start. But for me personally, the way I look at it is there's a lot of content creators out there, okay, that stream on a Sunday, right? 2 weeks later, they do another stream. Then you don't see them again until Friday night, you know. And these boys expect the minute they hit the go live button that they should be credited. You know, I mean, they deserve the same amount of respect as the likes of the boys doing it 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if you don't put in the graft, you're never going to get anywhere. I'll be straight up. I wouldn't work with a lot of Irish content creators. Not the fact that I don't have respect for what they're doing, but the simple fact that, one, they're inconsistent, two, they're lazy, and three, they're just not going. I don't see any future potential of them. What's the point of me working with someone if there's no future potential?
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, as well, like, is that people have to understand as well that is when you're focusing on your own content, like when you're trying to build your own content, your own brand, you can't be just fucking beckoning and calling at any time to help people. It's just not the way it works. It's not the way it works. Now, at the end of the day, there's a lot of content creators that come to my head that I'd be more than happy to work with. Do you know what I mean? At any day of the week. But the only reason that is because I've watched them. I've seen what they bring. I know what they're about. And I know that they have a handle on what they want to do, you know?
Yeah.
So I do respect completely everything you said there as well, is that too many people expect to get handouts. They just expect they don't do any hard work and expect a handout. And the boys that are doing all the hard work then, get small brand deals or get an opportunity. And then the next thing you have a bunch of fucking cunts on Twitter hating on that person because at the end of the day, it's not because they are like, oh, well, that brand's not that great. It's a simple fact you're pissed off because he got that deal because he worked his ass off for it, and you aren't getting any offers, so you're fucking pissed about it. And that's as simple as it gets. It's straight facts. So at the end of the day, I've said it before. The fact that all the boys that are on Legion, okay, deserve it because they worked to get there. They weren't given handouts. They did their content. They put a face on, and they were spotted. Simple as that. Whereas I said to yourself as well about me, I said it straight away, and I told you this in confidential, me and you. I told you the main reason why someone like the likes of me wouldn't fit the Legion brand is because number one, Virgin Media are not going to want to have me a part of something. Now, I fully understand that, but I don't bitch and cry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know what I'm about. I'm 100% 18 plus explicit motherfucker. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Right? If you like a cranky old man who just rips into people and has the crack and does his thing on GTAs, you know, selling his in-game drugs and shit, that's what you're getting with me. Do you know what I mean? That's what you're getting with me. You're getting all the fucking me. That's me, right? And but people come in because they love that shit. Now that's my like that may not be like top content. I may not have the best graphics, the best this, the best that. But I can guarantee you one thing, you get the best of a fucking person who's true to himself and someone that knows what he wants to do. That's the difference.
No, 100%.
You know, man?
And what I can take from that, and even like, regardless of any information that you've said there about yourself and about how you feel, the fact that you're honest with yourself and you're like, right, Virgin Media wouldn't work with me, or this company wouldn't work with me because of who I am and what my brand is, and you're not taking out on other people. I commented on one of the tweets online talking about how people like to deflect the initial issue, where like they're like, oh, brands won't work with me in this country because they're shy. Creators don't support me because they're shy. When realistically, it's about you. You got to look at yourself.
You're dead right. I'm sorry, but Virgin Media aren't going to want to work with you, whether if it's True Legion or whatever else like that. They're not going to want to work with you, okay? If you spend Monday to Friday streaming, but then from fucking 8 or 9 p.m. in the evening, you're fucking sharing fucking half naked girls and your thing saying, oh, bund on this bitch. You know what I mean?
No, it's true, and it goes on to the next thing that I was going to mention is that, you know, realistically, if you want support from mainstream media, and if you want support and recognition from big brands, you have to be brandable. You have to be somebody that they can work with that's not going to be a liability. I feel like a lot of creators in the scene forget that, you know, this is a full-time gig. Like, this is not something that you do part-time and you get an opportunity because you're half-assing it. Like, you have to give it a full-time and a job perspective. For example, when I wake up, man, like I do this full time. When I wake up, I have meetings scheduled. I have things planned. I'm working on multiple different projects. I work more than 9 to 5 because it's actually like a full time gig. And that's why I've gotten the opportunities that I've had. It's not because I've gotten lucky or because I've just been around enough. It's because I treat it as a profession. I don't treat it as a hobby. And that difference is what's going to separate you and give you more opportunities. Now, bear in mind, you can be a content creator and you can grow from being this and that. And even people like you, Jenny, who you feel like you can't work with brands, but you have your own thing going.
I know there's brands out there that I'd be fully adaptable. It's like brands like energy drinks and shit. Brands like fucking these vaping companies. All that overage shit, 18 plus shit. You know what I mean? Beard and fucking product. That Manscaped shit. All that crack. I know. They're the kind of brands I'd be working with.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be working with fucking Toys R Us or fucking, you know, Billy's fucking Butchers down the road. You know, these are the brands that I know that are never going to be accepted to me. And I know that. Otherwise, if I wanted to work with certain brands, I'd have to change who I am. And I'd never do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know that.
No,
you know what I mean? So.
No, exactly. But I feel like that's kind of where it turns around to like mainstream media. Like, if you want to get attention from mainstream media and kind of be like, how do you say, kind of stand out from the scene, you need to get that professional standpoint. And not to say that, like, obviously people who aren't doing that are not professional, but you got to know what you're brandable with and not blame outside things for your kind of own personality or your channel. And I feel like what I really respect about you, Genesis, is that you're able to take that head on and not blame other people. You're like, I'm like this, and I understand why brands don't want to work with me, so I'll maybe think about these other brands or work with this instead. That's how you should do, because that's a positive outlook at yourself and what you can work with, instead of being like, oh, creators in the scene are shite, they don't support me, or brands are muck here and there because of this and that. And another point is that I want to bring up is the Irish scene is so fucking small. It is so small that, like, I feel like when somebody outright says this and that on social media and whatever, it affects the scene in general in a positive or negative way. For example, if you said something about the scene online, Jenny, or if I said something about the Irish scene, I feel like it would resonate down the line and everybody would see it and everybody would have an opinion on it. And not only that, but from a branding point of view, if you're, let's say you're Legion or whatever brand, and you're looking up Irish creators and you see stuff like this online, you're going to want to move away from the scene if anything else. Like, if I put out a tweet and I'm like, right, this is shit in the Irish scene, this is shit in the Irish scene, everybody's a prick, everybody's a cunt, can't be arsed, want to get out of here. It paints a bad picture for the scene in general. As I said, it's a very small scene. There's barely any faces in the Irish scene that actually stand out, and the ones that do, I feel like, have to be somewhat accountable for how they hold themselves online, because you're not only representing yourself, but you represent the small community that's here, that is trying to evolve and that's trying to grow.
100%. I agree. It's like myself personally. Like, if I don't know, like, if I didn't fucking do the whole org shit for a while, and I had built the brand, company and all, yeah, for like content creators and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just a brand, and like Legion does, except for take away the tournaments. There's so many Irish content creators there that I could see potential in, but they just won't give it 100% on it. Do you know what I mean? So I can see, looking outside in, on why these businesses haven't got interest in certain people that will give out and bitch about it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for me, like, as I said, there's, if I followed you on Twitter, or sorry, not Twitter, Twitch, or if I subscribed to you on Twitch before, right? Straight up, you've gained my respect as an Irish content creator. And that's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
If I don't follow you, or I don't come by and all, and no disrespect, right? I rather haven't got to you yet, or seen enough of you, or I just don't think you're the chalk and cheese. And
Yeah.
that's the way I put it. I'm brutally honest like that.
Yeah.
There's, like, if I was to name, just off the top of my head, if I was to name just a couple of content creators that I feel are bursting on the scene right now, and that I feel that could outscape a lot of us, right? Straight up, I have to be deadly honest, is Bisto Bob, Russia, and Jamie J. Carr. And
Yeah.
that's no disrespect to everybody else, but them three right now are doing something special. They're doing something special. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're doing something special.
Yeah.
Straight up, they're doing something special.
No, I 100% agree with you, and it's what I was going to go on to next. And I know Jamie actually had a comment. He said he wanted us to read it. Is people who create content with an aspiration to entertain is noble. Then there's people who create content to create drama because they don't know any other way to get attention, and it's a shame. I feel like this is what can happen very, very easily, because we're such a kind of a close and small community that it's very easy to jump into something to get attention instead of actually to be content based, if that makes sense. And I feel like that resonates across the board with a lot of different things. But going on what you said there, I feel like standing out in the scene is important. And once again, it's something that I tweeted about recently, is that we have some creators in this country, and we have some people that are pushing the boundaries of content, and in a way that hasn't been seen in our country. And someone I'm going to say is the likes of Jamie J. Carr, who's doing big events, and he's putting himself out there. He's not only that, but he's funding his own events, and he's funding this and that, and he's funding big projects that the kind of things that you'd see on the UK side of it on Twitch, or maybe even the US side of it, and you applaud them. You'd be like, man, that's a class idea. And it's things like that are going to bring up this scene, or bring everybody up as a whole. I feel like it's very easy to look by stuff like this, but if you're not a part of the support, you're not a part of the process and the progress of where we're going. I feel like it's a very Irish thing to kind of steer away from support and to kind of look down on it and be like, oh, this guy's doing this or that, whatever, yada yada yada, and not support it. But then there'll be the same people who would like to complain online and be like, oh yeah, the scene doesn't support me. And like you said, Jenny, these are the same guys who stream 2 times a week, don't even have social media, don't even use TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and and they feel like the scene is what's to blame instead of actually their own content.
100%. Like 100%. Like it's like so. Like I'd always criticize myself as well. Don't ever get me wrong on that. If you want to put it down to like serious, like proper content creators, like you'd have to take me out of frame because of a couple of reasons. One, I don't do YouTube because I haven't even like thought to myself,
Yeah,
Jenny, get
it's
off
a
your arse and do it.
it's
Okay,
a, it's
that's
a
one.
tough cookie.
Two, I don't promote my fucking socials enough by a mile. I might have them on my stream, but that's about it. I don't promote myself enough. My main category is obviously Twitch, and it'll always be Twitch for me. And I know that myself, you know what I mean? So, but the thing is about it is that you can always adapt. Now, just because I'm not doing YouTube and the rest of these things, okay, that shows how much more you can broadcast yourself to a new level. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I want younger content creators to look at the likes of myself, and they might say, "Oh, Jen, you're doing well on Twitch, but I'm not doing good enough." That's the difference. So you need to look at that, add on the extras, and do better than me. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
That's for every young content creator that may watch you, watch me, or not even watch either of us. That's just listening.
yeah, and 100%. And you know, once again, I'm gonna give props to the likes of Jake McBoss, who did put out online talking about, like, you know, we need pioneers to bring the scene up and to actually get people who you look up to and who are like, you know, this is somebody I want to be like, or this is the content that I want to be like. So you know, it gives people inspiration, and I really agree with that mindset. But with that being said, in this country right now, like, it's very easy to look at the scene and be like, oh yeah, there's not a lot of good creators, yada yada yada. But that's what happens when like this negative Irish mindset. I feel like there's only a handful of people in this country right now who are full-time content creation. A handful. Especially in the Irish scene. When we're talking about the Irish scene, obviously we're talking about the close-knit community that we have. There's a handful of guys giving it full time, but those are the guys who are going to see the fruition from it, and those are the guys who are giving it their all, and those are the people who you should be looking at, being like, all right, I want to be like this person because they're putting in this time, they're doing this amount of projects, they're representing themselves well, and you need to turn, like you said earlier, Jenny, you need to turn words into actions. It's very easy to look at somebody and judge and to do this and that, but if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Especially if you're vocal online, you need to be a part of the solution.
It's all well and good saying that you're going to do this and talk about doing that, but you gotta actually do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like straight up, as I said to you there the other night we were talking. I said straight up, I said, Gara, I said, me and Jamie are going to do this poker event. I said the reason why we haven't talked about it or announced or anything yet is because of a couple of reasons. One, we don't have an event spot yet. Two, we don't know the prize pool yet. Three, will we need people involved? 100%, because me and him are no way in hell going to be able to afford what we want to do. We want to better his last poker event. Like, we want to make it epic. So obviously it's going to take more time, more process.
Yeah.
Will it happen? 100%. You know why it'll happen is because it's me and Jamie doing it. Two people that don't just talk. They actually do what they're going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I have that full confidence in the simple fact that no matter what, you can say, you can lie in bed late at night and you can come up with a great idea in your head, right? But you have to put that into play. It's like what I did. I sat in bed one night. I thought about coming after the whole fucking shambles of orgs that I was going through and all. I thought to myself, I'll give this one last go, and that's where Saints came along. And Saints was going to be very, very successful. What happened, it happened. I don't even care anymore. But that would have been successful. And I know that for 100%. Saints would have been probably the most successful Irish org, without a shadow of doubt in my mind. Like, you gotta think of the people that I had on that roster before it went to shit. You know, you know what I mean. You had the likes of Arch, you had the likes of Jalen's. You know, you had you had Fortnite players like Helix and all these young lads that are popping off in the scene. You know, so it's all about putting your actions or your thoughts and the words that you're processing out online or wherever to your friends or whatever, and putting that in play. That's how you build off it. Because if you don't actually try, there's no harm in trying. There's no harm in trying. If you fail, at least you did it. Like, you know, at least you say, well, I tried, didn't I? You know, it's like with anything. Like, if it's so many things I've seen before in the past that people have actually tried and gone to shit. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, no, I know 100%, and it's like what you're saying. You know, the people who we do have who are trying to give it a full time and are trying to think outside of the box and do different things are who who are the people who everybody realistically needs to look up to. I feel like it's very easy on the lower level to be jealous and to be this and that, but turning jealousy and turning how would you say just turning jealousy and hate into something productive is, I feel like it's something everybody needs to work on. And I know that's a super general statement, but it's just true. You need to look at yourself before you look at other people, and I feel like the creators who we have in the scene, there's only a handful, I'd say, who do it full time, but it's people like that that are gonna kind of, how do you say, define that point that, you know, it's you who you need to work on. It's your content. You got to make yourself look professional. You got to be able to compete with the likes of the UK and the US, and you got to run with it. There's no handouts in this country, and there's no handouts because you're Irish and other people are Irish around you, so they should support you. That's not how it works. Going back to what we said earlier, content is king at the end of the day, and good content is respected because we don't get a lot of that over here, realistically. You know what I mean? Whether it's Twitch or YouTube or whatever. You know, like in the Twitch scene right now, when it comes to high content, you think of like Jamie J. Carr, you think of Captain Sexy, guys who have like good production value, do all that kind of stuff, and then you have like the likes of YouTube and stuff. But there's not that many people who would stand out, and you're like, right, this is like this competes with the fucking UK, this competes with the US. That's what we need to work on. We need to get creators like that up there, and we need to develop. It's like a football club. It's like a youth academy. That's what I feel like the Ireland is right now. It's like a youth academy. Who we have full time needs to be developed, and it needs to be given time and support to actually like come to fruition and to come to something special. And you know, we could be waiting. I don't know how long we could be waiting. We could wait a couple of years or whatever. But it's the people like that who you really need to look up to, and to, if you're a young creator, you need to mimic, because there's only a few of them in the country right now, and these are the people who are going to bring the scene to a level where businesses can look at it and they're like, yeah, you know what, this looks like, you know, we can invest in this, we can invest in this project, or brands can be looking at creators and like, all right, these Irish creators are doing well, maybe we should work with them. That's the kind of, you know, impact you want to have.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Like it's so the way I look at it is as well is that like where you go back to the point where you're like Irish people should support Irish creators. I have a fair handful of Irish people that support me and that do me in my stream daily. But I'm not gonna lie, I have so much more from UK, US that support me.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't bitch and moan about that. I don't care where you're from. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. I don't care where you're from. As long as if you're in my stream and you're supporting me, I can give a fuck if you're from fucking Oman or fucking Afghanistan. You know what I mean? It's down to that as well. So people are like saying, oh, well, this Irish content creator doesn't support me, but I support him. That's the rotation here. Now, 90% of these reasons and 90% of these issues is the guy that's supporting, okay, is more than likely the smaller creator and is supporting the bigger creator. Okay. Now, when a bigger creator supports the smaller creator, okay, the smaller creator is happy about it. Fine, don't bother. But a lot of these boys out there feel like because of who you are, in a sense, like I feel like, and I could be completely wrong, but this is how I feel. I feel like when I go into a lot of people's streams, right, a lot of people's streams, when I go in there and I type something, they automatically expect me to sub or gift.
Yeah.
And now I would never say, obviously names not, but that is literally how I feel when I go into certain people's streams. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So people don't get it twisted. If I do sub or gift you subs, it's not because I feel like I'm pressured to. It's because I want to. But I feel like in certain circumstances. Now, the simple way I look at it is that there's a certain amount of people that support each other and rate each other. So let's break it into kind of brackets here. Right.
Okay.
So the way I feel, there's kind of like there's a triangle for me in a sense. Now, don't feel bad if I leave these out, but there's a definite triangle of raids. All right. And for me, you, me, and JSM always show love to each other. So that's a triangle, in my opinion, right?
Love that.
And yeah. But there's a reason why that triangle is there is because we're all on the same level, realistically, like view counts and stuff. We're all bouncing around the same numbers, all right? But it's not that we also have gained respect for each other for what we do. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That triangle there, there's people need to realize is that other Irish content creators out there, you need to do that. You need to build triangles or squares or whatever the fuck, octagons. I
Fucking
don't care.
hexagons,
You know what I mean?
octagon,
Yeah,
Jenny the
right.
octagon throwing slaps.
You 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 need to build that kind of a foundation because that's how it grows. Like if JSM gets 5 extra new followers and viewers, yeah, and they stay in his stream, and he sends them over to you, and then them 5 people follow you, and then you raid me, and then them 5 people follow me. You're building up a transition. These 5 people have now found 3 brand new Irish content creators that they like to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you're helping the scene. You're not just helping creator by creator, which I think is a big deal.
Exactly. More people need to do that. Regardless of what you think, more people need to do that. There needs to be more of a foundation around that kind of building with each other in the community. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what I feel about it.
here's my situation with it. I feel like everybody has their own cliques, and that's something that you can't get away from. And I don't mind that at all. That's absolutely no bother. But for me, I just feel like that, you know, I think anybody who talked to me in a personal manner can vouch that I want to see everybody fucking grow. It's not just, I don't feel like I have a clique. I feel like there's a lot of people I respect in the scene, and anybody who's an Irish streamer, I'll 100%, I'll try to get involved in your streams. I'll try to get involved in your content. And if I'm on Twitter and I see a post, I'll always give that shit a like. I want to see guys in the scene bring it up because, like, you know, I started this shit, what, like 3-4 years ago with streaming. And when I seen, and I see him gifting subs now, Rusher, you're such a sexy cunt. Thank you everybody as well gifting subs tonight. I was actually about to mention them. Is the likes of Rusher, Bob, the likes of Ethan, the likes of Mr. Gibbon, who have come in with the COVID rush, whatever you want to call it, and absolutely, for me, like nearly revolutionized the scene. Gave the Irish scene a breath of fresh air, because I remember being in the scene and it felt stagnant for so long. And when these guys all came along, I was like, oh my god, there's fucking people like me who want to give this a full-time lash and who are professional and want to give it a bang. And I absolutely love that. And I see a lot of support in the chat. You guys are absolutely amazing. I can't even keep up with you. Jesus Christ, you guys are fucking nuts. They're all gifted souls right now. There's a lot of love from the Irish community, and I appreciate that, guys. But just do me a favor. Listen, there's so much love in the chat right now, and I love it. And I'll call you out right after this podcast. But I want to see everybody look out for each other, and I don't want you to support each other because you're Irish. It's not that at all. But there's a couple of guys in the Irish scene who are clearly like on something. And I know Jenny mentioned some of them earlier, who are ones to look up to and ones to support, and it's those people who are going to put the scene up. It's not just on an individual level, but I forget the phrase in particular, but when one person does well, we all do well. And I really feel like if everybody had that mindset, the scene would benefit greatly from it. Greatly. And yeah. I just feel like that's what you should all look out for. And now bear in mind, I know everybody has their own agendas and this and that, and that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, we should all be supporting our creators who are doing well, because once again, they're going to be the ones bringing up the scene. They're going to be the ones who bring in the viewers to the Irish scene, not just to them, but just to the scene in general. Like you said, Jenny, about having your little triangles here, and you're going to have people who watch you, who watch JSM, watch me. You're bringing in viewers across the board. Everybody's mingling in and mixing in, and everybody gets support at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's also about adapting that click. So that's just one click where, like, the likes of so that's just one click I'm on about. The likes of me and you have adapted to many more clicks, where as in we've added more people, so our triangles got bigger. You know what I mean? That's why I was on about shapes there. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and next thing you've got you in the middle, and you've got like 10 dots around you, and these 10 boys are people that you'd raid, send your followers over to, give shout outs to when they raid you. They drop support to you, you drop support to them. So that's where I'm going with it. It's all about building and structurizing yourself out. You know what I mean? There's a reason why people know who you are and who I am. Is because we are very adaptable, very approachable, and we've also pushed out. Do you know what I mean? We broke out that little box. But if you're cramped inside that box and just expect things to come to you, it's never going to work. You got to push your way the fuck out. You got to be like, right, this guy is bigger than me. I'm gonna push myself out. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna be better than this guy.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. It's not a competitive thing where you're like, I'm gonna get better than him because I'm a better creator. It's all about bettering yourself.
No, 100%, 100%, and
that's how other people want to work with you when they see that you're putting in that effort. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I feel like, you know, what you're saying about some of the some of the guys in the scene, like, you know, jealousy is a very easy thing to come to. Like, I feel like if you look at somebody doing well, you can be like, oh man, they're doing well, I should be doing well as well. But you need to turn that into inspiration. Like, for example, here, I'm going to use him in chat because he's right here right now. The likes of Russia, right? He is an absolutely wild community. Absolutely wild. And, you know, to see what he's doing with his community is an absolute, like, it's absolutely fantastic. And it's something that you should look up to. It's guys like him who are small in the community, but they're so powerful that it's like, you know what? I need to up my game. I need to do shit like Russia's doing. I need to do shit like Bisto Bob's doing. I need to be this type of guy who has this type of community, but I need to earn it. You don't need to be looking at these guys and be like, oh, they're doing well, fuck them. I feel like that's the general mindset, and it's very Irish to be like, oh yeah, this lad's doing this. Oh, sure, I couldn't give a shit about him. I'm concentrating on me. These are the guys you need to look up to. You're like, man, what can I do? What can I do with my content that is going to get me a result like this? What can I do with my content that brings me to their level? Do I need to get better at editing? Do I need to get better at my social skills? What is it? It's the attitude like that makes you a better content creator. And across the board, that's the attitude that's going to bring you to the top. So I feel like once you adapt an attitude like that, you're limitless, essentially, in how you make your content and what kind of content creator you become.
Yeah. I've not I literally if you're asking about Russia, I've literally no words. Like the fact that guy's sitting there in the morning streaming, and you know he'd have 40, 50 people watching him, and the man's fucking sitting on 2,000 subs is an inspiration in itself.
Big
Like,
time.
you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
It's like
unreal.
like
What a man.
like I'm streaming 2 year plus, and like I've hit good goals. Don't get me wrong, I've hit over the 1,000 mark, but like the likes of Russia, you look at, you're like, man's fucking killing it. Man's hitting fucking, that's partner sub goals right there. He's hitting
huge, easy. Yeah, no, 100%.
So it's like that, like, you know what I mean? And it's definitely how you approach yourself. As I said, like, all about the feeling when you go into someone's stream. The first thing in my opinion, first thing a viewer goes into your stream, he's not there for what you're playing. Right? You may be playing a game, but he's not actually there for that.
No.
The one thing they're looking at is you.
Yeah.
You and how you are, whether you're responsive, what you're doing, so on and so forth, what kind of person you are. Some people relate, some people don't. And that's the joys of it. You know what I mean? But as I said, and I've said it 1,000 times before, there's people in the Irish content scene who are miles better than so many US, so many UK, European streamers, but they don't get the exact same results. And that's the way, unfortunately, this business is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be the better content creator by a fucking country mile. You can put in way more fucking hours. You know what I mean? Or there could be some fucking donkey sitting there doing fuck all and he's just killing it. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's true. But once again, it's not something to be salty about. I feel like...
What's the point?
Yeah, no,
point?
it's
you know what can I be honest? And I'll let you speak. I'm sorry,
go,
I have to get this out. It's not the fucking viewership or anything there. It's not what the fucking doing. People are fucking salty, and I'll say it straight because I know there's going to be people watching this, and you're probably one of these people. You know what I mean? You're only fucking salty because your man's making cash. He's making money. That's all it is. You are jealous that he's making bank. That's
break out the red panties.
Straight up. You're pissed off. You're pissed off that this guy is making bank and you're sitting there, right, with your 2-hour stream twice a week, and you get one sub and you're on Twitter crying about fucking this and that. Fuck off.
No, but listen, it's true though. It's true. It's like I don't know, man. This is the deal, and I know it's something you said in the call when I was talking to you earlier, and you haven't said it yet, but the big creators don't complain, bro. Like if we're talking about like the guys in the scene who are actually doing bits, like you're not gonna see them complain. You don't see Jamie J. Carr. Jamie J. Carr has put fucking thousands into events, and I'm talking thousands, and he does his thing. He makes his own opportunities. He doesn't wait for them. And
Jamie's put so much money into these fucking events, Harry. He's gonna have to stream till he's 60 on fucking Twitch to make it back.
No, listen.
Well, he's not bitching and moan
That's what I'm
about
saying. He'll be the last guy to bitch and moan, and that's what I'm saying. And it's like that's the attitude, man. It's just like it's going for the fucking aiming for the stars, going for it, and you know you take the hits, you take the journey, and you run with it. And I like that mindset, man. It's what I'm saying. It's like the guys who are doing well in the scene are doing well for a reason. You're not going to see people doing well and complaining. And there's a reason for that. It's because they're confident in themselves. They're confident in their content. They figured out what works for them. They figured out what works for their community and how they're growing. And they're running with it. They're running with it. And that's what I'm saying. And you should be looking at creators like this and who are like, right, what's he doing that I need to do? You know, how is he adapting himself online? Why are people connecting with him and maybe they're not connecting with me? That's what you need to look at. You can't be like, oh, this guy's doing well, fuck him, or oh, this guy is doing these type of events or doing this and that, and it's like, yeah, you know, screw that, sure, I'll just keep my own stream going.
While we're on that, do you know what else does my fucking nothing?
What?
Especially, right, and this is around all content, not just Irish, but it's around all content. If you sit there, right, as a content creator or as a streamer, right, and you are telling me you are not doing it for money, fuck off. Straight up, fuck off. Out straight. So you're telling me you're sitting there 12 hours a day in a fucking chair, right? Just because you enjoy gaming. No.
Sure, I love playing games. I love playing games. What are you talking about, Jenny? I love playing games all day, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're straight losing your fucking marbles. Like, you're on another level of fucking crack cocaine, like, out straight. Like, I'm being deadly honest. If you think that I turn on my stream in the evenings and I'm not doing it fucking to get subs and the money and fucking to buy me own Dynamos and get my cans in and fucking, you know what I mean? Why do you think like, you know what I mean? I'm straight up.
Yeah.
Like, when you sub to me, I'm like, yeah, good lad, about time, give me some fucking money. Sound, you know what I mean? But you gotta be honest about that. There's no point being like, well, you know, like, I'm not doing it for the money, I'm doing it for the education, you know. And
yeah, no.
It's an experience, you know, sitting here for 14 hours a day in my chair, you know, eating ham sandwiches, you know.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, here's the deal. Like, I feel like though it depends on the creator, because I feel like some creators are more honest than others. And I know I was talking to, I'm gonna say Ethan O'C's in the chat there. I was chatting to him recently about it all, and it's like some creators though have like different personas. I know this is getting off Irish content creation, but it's true. Some people have different personas. Like, some personas are like, oh yeah, I'm this community guy and I'm this and I'm that. But for some creators, they're just like straight up and honest, like yourself, Jenny, who's like just out straight with it.
I won't lie. Back when I was doing Saints, I literally did say I'm not doing it for the money. Do you know why? Because there was no fucking point. Because I was $9,000 out of pocket. I wouldn't need a fucking train wrecks raid and to drop me fucking $10K to get my money back. So back then I wasn't streaming for money, because any sub that came in, I was losing £2.50. Never mind gaining £2.50.
All the boys, when they're down subs every month, yeah, I'm not doing it for the money, boys. But listen, lads, if you're Prime going there, lads, throw it my way, will you? Throw a fucking Prime my way there, lad. But no, it is true. But listen, we're all well aware of the elephant in the room, boys. It is a job at the end of the day that we're all trying to achieve. Let's not fuck around here. So we're all well aware of that. You know, and any primers in the chat, I see somebody saying it there now. It is a joke, but it's fucking true. When you say any primers in the chat, you motherfucking mean it. And don't even lie to me, any of you shitters in the chat right now. You mean that shit when you say any primers. No matter what caps lock you put on in between the letters, we all mean the same thing. But listen, it's fine, lads. It's fine.
It's the same thing where we say, you don't need to do that, but we're like, go on, drop another few, will you? You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know, straight. Like, it's just to be polite. But realistically, that's what the fuck we need. Like, know, as a content creator, that's what you need.
You get the 5 subs. You're not gonna do that again. You're not gonna do that again. You're not gonna do that again.
No balls. Go on.
No balls. Don't do that again. You're not gonna get 5 again. Yeah, surely not. But no, listen, lads, we're all. And Jesus Christ, the support for this community today has been insane. Listen, anybody supporting the stream, as I said, I'm gonna call you out at the end. If anybody listening to the podcast on Spotify or YouTube, the amount of fucking subs coming in from the Irish community here is absolutely madness, and I fucking love you guys. Thank you so much. But listen, guys, I appreciate it. But yeah, look, Jenny, to basically once again to kind of come back to the topic at hand here. I feel like, man, you're crazy in the chat right now. Jesus Christ.
There goes Jamie's poker money.
The Jamie's poker money. Thank you so much, honestly, guys. There's so many subs coming in. I fucking love you guys. You are insane. Thank you so much for the support. And I see a lot of these in chat as well, commenting about possibly doing a part 2 or part 3 on this and bringing creators on. And I think that'd be fun. Genesis, what do you say right now to possibly having a part 2 or part 3 and getting creators on to give their own opinions on the whole matter?
Instead of chatting about it, as in like
getting,
yeah, 100%, like, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, if I'm gonna bring people on, and it's no disrespect to people, but you'd have to have some sort of fucking relevant opinion and be relevant. I'm being straight. I'm not bringing on fucking, fucking Jimmy FN that fucking streams once a week with 2 fucking viewers. You can fuck off.
2 viewer Terry. Listen, I have a say on this topic, man. Right? I reckon you boys should follow me, as cunts.
Yeah, I finished 196th in the cash cup. I was stream sniped by my 1 viewer.
But now listen, you guys are clearly passionate about this, and I fucking love it. I resonate with it highly, guys. So, I think for the next week or 2, maybe we'll return to this and we'll bring creators on and we'll get your guys' opinion on it too, over voice instead of talk. Because I know you guys have been texting a lot. I see the likes of Jamie, J. Carr, Rusher, Bob, even my own community, Malteser, Carmi, Ethan, everybody having a say on it, and I love it. Even Buzz and all them, man. There's so many of us have an opinion on this, so I'd love to extend this further. But yeah, I know Jamie's saying it right now after Gifted Sub, saying that we don't support each other. Once again, Genesis, it always comes back to content is king. And I feel like people need to realize that for our scene to grow, everybody has to elevate their content to be compatible with the rest of the world. And that's just how it is. Realistically, that's how it is.
100%. Like, the way I look at it is, like, you're in different sectors as well. So, like, for me, if I'm looking at it, like, people think I'm the only Irish GTA kind of guy, that's on Twitch doing the whole thing, but I'm not. Just Man Up Allen's doing it as well, and he's killing it.
Bosch Merchant as well, doing fucking bits, man. Very good.
There's a couple of boys on that, like, and they're killing it. They're killing it.
Yeah.
So it's all about sectors as well. Like, you know what I mean? It's like everything's going to be competitive. Obviously, the more I find this, and I've always said it, with the most popular games, you got to be ready for the competitiveness of it, because there's so many people at that same platform. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, having a community, and what I mean by a community is a select amount of people that literally are dedicated. Like, they eat, shit, and sleep you. You know what I mean? When you go live, they're there, and they're there till you leave. And I have so many of them, and you have so many of them. Jamie has his crowd. JSM has his crowd. Bisto has his crowd. Rusher has his crowd. Jake my boss has his crowd. Everyone has a certain community and a certain base. You know what I mean? And the reason why we have these communities is not because of just, being streamers. We've built these communities on the basis of interacting with them, being a part of what they want, listening to them, helping them out, so on and so forth. That's what it is, like, you know what I mean? And that's why they stay loyal. Like, a loyal viewer will stick with you if you treat them right. And I always said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, I'd be lost without a couple of people in my community. I honestly would. Like, even the likes of Losify, I'd be lost without Losify. Lost.
Yeah, he's a legend.
He's a legend. He's there from start to finish. Every fucking stream modding for me. Everything.
Yeah.
Like, every day. He's a legend. And, you know what I mean? It's guys like that are on top of the world. Like, you know what I mean? Likes a Spud, Mr. Data Head.
Yeah.
I swear that man's paid for fucking so much for me. I'm not even gonna bullshit. He bought me fucking headset and the whole, like, he's backed me and made my stream better. Do you know? So it's people you've got there. Rooney fucking comes in the other night and drops 200. I nearly fell out of my fucking chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's what I'm saying. Like apart from the creators looking at each other, it's people like that like in the community though that do bits for the scene and support the creators. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like acknowledging the viewers. I know viewers is a very shit term, but you get what I'm saying by when I say viewers, as in, like, the people who watch and support Irish creators are as important as the guys in the scene themselves, because you're supporting these guys to commit to things full time and to be able to upgrade their stream and to upgrade their setup and to be, like we said earlier, to be able to compete with other countries and other brands, because at the end of the day, if that support isn't there, the scene's not going to grow. So big shout out, man. Any people right now in the chat, if you support an Irish streamer, if you support any streamer, no matter where you're from, could be UK, US, whatever, if you support a streamer on your own turf, man, big fucking credit to you, because like scenes like the Irish scene right now, there's not a lot of creators in it. So if you do support,
you're dead right, because your community, those guys that sub to you every month, consistent, every month, right, that fiver every month, them people, them select amount of people, guarantee that content creator a payout every month,
Yeah.
which means they can upgrade their shit. They can fucking, put it to savings to get themselves a better setup, or move out of their house, or move out of home to get an apartment, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't realize how them small fivers, how much they make a difference to a content creator. Because if you've got fucking 100 you boyos that come in and constantly drop them €5, that's exactly what the content creator needs. That's exactly what he
Yeah,
needs.
no,
You know what I mean?
100%. There's more to it than meets the eye, I feel like,
Yeah.
when it comes to that. And being realistic here, this is really what it comes down to. And anybody listening in who wants to get into content creation, or maybe is on maybe the lower scale end of it, the reason why the likes of Rusher, Bob, Genesis, Jamie are doing bits is because of their ability to connect with their audience. When it comes to live streaming, especially, not touching on YouTube. YouTube's a different ballgame, but I'm going to touch on Twitch because I have experience with it. Being able to connect with your audience is massive, and only a handful of people are able to do it. I don't want to say you're born with the ability or not, but being able to connect with your viewers is massive. And if people are able to do that, and you see guys with subs and you see guys with viewers, that's because they're able to actually encapsulate that, and they're able to make that a big feature in their channel, where they connect with their viewers in a one-to-one basis. They're able to connect with their audience in moments, whether it's through gaming, through chatting, or whatever. They're able to do that for that reason. Now, if you're not one of these people in that bracket who you're like, right, I don't have these type of skills, that's something that you need to build. That's something that you need to work on. For example, when I was younger, man, I was very nervous. I was very shy. This kind of shit. But you need to work on your skills and things like that. If you want to be a live streamer, especially, your social skills need to be high fucking tier. You need to be able to speak to people. You need to be able
have no fucks given.
Yeah, no fucks given. You got to be confident in yourself. You got to be a personality, essentially.
I dressed up as a woman, like a proper full-on woman, and danced around my room with makeup on, singing Jolene for content.
Yeah, that's fucking banging,
right?
though.
And when you look at me, when you first come to the stream, you're like bearded, crazy, out-looking fucker, tattooed now, right? You're thinking, whatever. But you see the other side of me. You see the fucking crazy side of me. Like, it's a whole different ballgame. I can give a fuck if people are like, oh, you dress like a woman, huh? You're you know what, and all. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, lad. I'm as comfortable in my skin as they get.
Exactly.
I swear to God,
no,
that's it.
100%. And I love that mindset. Being comfortable in your own skin makes you a personality, and it makes you a creator. If you show any signs of weakness and doubting your own personality, you're a shell. You're a shell of a person, essentially. You got to be you at the end of the day, and you gotta be that type of person. You don't gotta be the type of person, but people will like you for being you. But your personality is what dictates your stream. So if you have that outgoing personality, if you have those social skills, people are naturally gonna come towards it, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is great. This is good," and they're gonna kind of resonate with it. I see Funky Town put a message in chat there I want to read out, because I see a lot of people commenting on it. Funky Town 49 says, the biggest thing about Twitch is you can't just load up a stream and expect to naturally gain a following. It's not easy. You need to have a following you are bringing from elsewhere, be it on YouTube, social media, or through collaborating with other creators. With that comment there, I think that's very true. Now, I know a lot of...
I don't know.
Well, I know me and you have built a community directly off Twitch specifically, so I don't feel like we've actually extended out of Twitch. But with that being said, though, one big comment from that I'm going to take away is collaborating is a big deal. The only thing that really sets me back, I feel like, is fucking time, with the amount of projects and shit I've going on. I love when guys collaborate, because I think it's fantastic. Like when I was doing that Among Us series with you, Genesis, and everybody else, that was the biggest thing for the Irish scene in a while, because nobody else had anything else to watch. There was no ongoing weekly thing with Irish creators doing shit. I love to see when lads are collaborating online and doing bits, whether you're playing Call of Duty fucking duos or whether you're doing whatever. Collaborating's fucking massive. And once again, I'm going to keep rewinding it back to Jamie J. Carr, because he's encapsulated that with original content and collaboration, where I think is fucking massive. And I feel like if you can do that in the Irish scene, once again, it benefits everybody. Collaboration is fucking massive, and to be able to do that on whatever scale, whether it's IRL, whether it's gaming, whether it's Twitch streams, whether it's whatever, it makes an impact on the scene in a positive way every single time it's done. So if you're taking anything from the stream as well, I definitely would recommend trying to get into a bit of collaboration and trying to get people involved.
I agree with a lot of that, but the part about you have to bring community over from the I don't agree with that. like, because, and the reason I don't agree with that is because I like when I started off, like, we got the raise and all, and obviously you dropped me a raid, and I gained people from it now. But I literally built that from the ground, fucking up with a PlayStation and a fucking TV. You know what I mean? And a PlayStation camera. Like I built that shit from the ground up. Like I grinded my fucking cock off from the works up. So I definitely feel like you don't need to start. Like you don't need a platform to start up. There's no way. You know what I mean? Because like I swear to God, I started from the get go. Like I was literally at ground level and worked my ass off and got to where I was.
Yeah.
And that was a simple fact, but there was reasons behind that is because I put myself out there. I got involved in other communities. I support other people and they started supporting me. And people started coming in, and then I was putting on shows, you know what I mean? I was being myself, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel like I gather. Like, but I definitely feel you can literally start from ground level zero and make something of it. You
Yeah.
should like,
No, no,
like
no. I get where you're coming
that's
from.
how I feel anyway.
I don't know. I'm the same, man. I literally got partner on Twitch without using any socials correctly at all. When I was using Twitter, Instagram, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I see Randers in chat, and he's saying exactly my point is that you don't need another platform, but it is faster. Obviously, growth
Oh, 100% faster, yeah.
is multiplied once you have
For sure.
content on multiple platforms or social media.
Jake McBoss and Jamie Jakar are the highlights of that. The boys came from YouTube.
Yeah,
They weren't Twitch. They weren't Twitch at the
yeah,
start. They were
100%.
YouTube. They were YouTube, and they came across and they brought the people across. But they gained more new people. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
I'd seen videos of Jamie before, but I did like I'll be deadly honest. Like when I first knew Jamie JKR, I wasn't subscribed to him or anything. I actually seen his videos on fucking Facebook. That's how I first got seen Jamie, and this was way before I even started fucking Twitch. So
yeah,
I only recently got really involved and properly on board with Jamie when he came to Twitch. Do you get what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's definitely for me. For me, it depends. As I said, it depends what the fuck you're playing, how you are, and how you put yourself out there to build. It's not about you don't always have to have a following to start off. That's my opinion.
No, for sure. And I see like some comments in the chat. I see Spectate Adam say TikTok is a huge must in my opinion. The opportunity for exposure on there is massive. And right now, being a creator, like going back to what we said, about some guys taking it full time and doing it properly. Any Irish creator right now who is trying to do this full time is on TikTok and is utilizing apps like that. And it's the way to do it. It's the way to move forward is utilizing as many apps as you can and to put out as much content as you can to really represent yourself and realistically, as I said, just utilize all the platforms available to you. Not to say that you can't grow on one alone, like we already said, Jenny, but definitely does improve growth kind of doing other platforms. If anybody in chat as well has any questions, guys, more than happy to answer any questions you guys have, whether it's just advice or whether it's a statement, no problem at all reading it. I know you guys have a lot to say, and even throughout the stream, I know you're all very eager on getting a second or third episode of this in and getting creators on, and we'll definitely do that. It'd be great to hear your guys' opinion on it and to hear different standpoints of the whole matter. Because obviously, me and you, Jenny, I feel like we run the same kind of ship in a way. Like we both self-acknowledge what we're good at, what we're bad at, what we do, and what we don't do, whatever. But I just feel like going back to what we said earlier. It's not an issue of looking at elsewhere, as in looking at outside sources to blame for people you're not getting views, you're not doing that. You have to look at yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, 100%. Like yeah, as I said before, the main thing is focusing on yourself and providing the best of everything you can. Um, you have to be consistent. You have to be. There's no breaks in this shit. Like and this speaking from opinion, this is coming straight from me. I fucking fell off at a stage because I got inconsistent and lazy.
Yeah.
But I don't bitch and cry about that. I know I fell fucking off, but I got back on the fucking horse. You know what I mean? And I was in the next fucking race, and that was it. So it's all about how you do it, and if you feel like you're not able to put that much time and effort into it, this isn't for you. And I'm being straight up. You have to give it all. If you really want to be a content creator, you want to make it as a content creator, and this is what you want to do as a job. There's
Yeah.
no time off. There's none. It's a 24/7. In your sleep, you're thinking about what you want to do. You wake up, you put it to work. It's constant.
No,
Constant.
it's true, and like it's why I struggle personally to to get involved as much as I can. Like I try to get involved in my community as much as I can. Like I have so many VIPs and mods and stuff that I want to connect with off stream and obviously not the crack with, but I either have meetings or I have work or I'm trying to juggle my fucking relationship or fucking home life. You know what I mean? It's just like with content creation, you gotta, if you want to make it, you gotta give it your all, and that's how it is realistically. You can't half-arse shit. If you're in a Discord call at 2 a.m. playing games with your mates, you're doing it wrong. Realistically, you're doing it wrong, lads. You gotta be in it to win it. You gotta be setting an example, and you gotta be putting your fucking all for it. You gotta be putting your all in. You can't. There's no layoff time. There's no downtime when you're a content creator. Anybody at the top of content creation game will tell you the exact same thing. There's no off time. You put in the work. And not to quote The Rock, you put in the work, you put in the hours, boys. It's fucking true. It's true, boys. You put in the work, you put in the hours. You'll get your results, but the work you put in. And that's how it is realistically. There's no other way around it, lads. There's no luck in it. Well, there can be luck in it, but hard work speaks for itself. I see Ranner saying in chat, got a lot of emails from big companies to do specifically Irish things with me recently. The companies are looking, but you need to be doing good content and have good numbers before you can expect brand deals. And that's true. Come back to what we said earlier, Genesis, you know, you gotta be brandable. You gotta be somebody that a brand looks at and they're like, they're not a liability, they're doing decent numbers, and we want to work with them. And, you know, when brands see creators like that in the scene, once again, it brings more eyes on the scene and it gives more interest.
Yeah, 100%. Like, as I said, like, not every brand's going to suit a certain content creator. Like, it's down to the matter of fact of what brand's looking at you, what they're looking for, what you present, what you bring. As I said, when you're dealing with brands, you can't just be like, oh, I'm a content creator, I have this many views and I get this many subs a month. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for a whole fucking resume. It's like going to a fucking interview and a job. You got to hand that shit out. You got to fucking sell yourself to a point where they're like, this is my guy. This is the guy we're looking for. You know what I mean? You got to be honest as well. You can't go in there bullshit. I mean, if a brand came to me and said, can you be PG? I'll say, fuck no. And if that's what you're looking for, I'm out. You know what I mean? Straight up.
No, you got to be yourself at the end of the day, though. And I think a lot of people respect that honesty, Genesis.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Straight up. That's the way you got to be. And like, at the end of the day, that's why I know certain, like, it's all about, you got to just accept it. If you are a certain way, right? So take, for instance, right? You're going to get deals that I'd never get, Gareth, because of the difference we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How we lay it out on the table. Brutally honest, how we are is totally different people. We're totally different, but we work well together. Do you know what I mean? We bounce off each other. So, but the reason of that is because we are different. So we can see both sides.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's one of the reasons why we started the podcast, because we both come from different aspects, but we're both kind of on the same page.
Exactly.
You know?
I said that straight up. I said I'm more the person going to be fucking, you know, straight up in your face, brutally honest kind of guy. And you're the more reasonable kind of guy who thinks of which solution is which. You know what I mean? You think before. You know, you'll always look at both sides as well, which is really good. You know what I mean? And you're not afraid to correct me when I'm saying shit. So that's the way you got to balance out shit like this. You know what I mean? But as I said, it's definitely, we got to look at it with branding. There's so many brands out there, so many, but you got to understand there's so many creators. You got to understand that too. So, like, I see boys that have literally, like, they're averaging 50, 60 viewers. That's great, brilliant, but don't feel like you should get offers from the likes, because I've seen them like, how have I not got an offer from the likes of Sneak? Are you on crack? Are you fucking mad? Sneak is a big ass company. It's a big company. And you got to be bringing big. It's not just about your numbers they're looking at. They're looking for someone that can represent that brand in the right manner. Do you look good in Sneak gear? If they need you for commercial, will you handle yourself well on this commercial? You know, these are the kind of things they look at. It's not just about they sponsor your stream and that's it.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
No, exactly. And I feel like with the Irish scene, one big thing that is a fault to a lot of creators, is it's a big fish in a small pond syndrome. It's like, you know, someone does remotely well and you can see ego and you can see this and you can see that, but realistically, like I always say, you throw them in the bigger pond with the UK creators and they're fucking known. So it's like, you know, you gotta be humble in a way, and you gotta realize that it's a journey, and not to expect shit. You work for shit, and if it comes your way, be humble, be grateful. Don't have the attitude of that you deserve stuff, especially in a small scene, because it does not look well at all.
Well, it's not. It's as simple as that. Like I'd be straight. Like and the reason why I brought Sneak up is because I tried to go for Sneak. I did, but I approached them, and then when they got back to me, I explained the whole situation, and they told me straight up, "We're not interested in your style." They said it straight away.
Yeah.
So I respected that, but I didn't go, "Dear Twitter, Sneak today told me I'm a fucking cunt. Can't believe it. Hashtag shit company. Fuck everyone. Hate Twitter. Deleting. Done."
No, I know. It's what I'm saying. It's like social media is so good, but it's so bad as well. If you use it for the wrong way, man, it's fucking shit. And as I said, you know, the Irish scene is small enough that, you know, if you say something like that, you'll be fucking called out for lively. Daz Goes Digital asks, what advice would you give to the creators who can't go full time as they need the 40-hour job for their standard of living but want to grow via streams, VODs, shorts, etc.? I'll start with this one, and I feel like if you have a full-time job, or if you have a part-time job, or whatever, scheduling is fucking huge. And this goes for full-time creators, part-time creators, whatever. Jenny, anybody that's worked with me, fucking you, Jenny, whether it's Jamie J. Carr, I don't know, whoever the fuck's worked with me in the chat right now who can relate to this. You know I'm a schedule demon, but there's a reason behind it. It's because that's the only way shit works out. Is that you tell the person time in hand, you agree to a fucking time, you agree to this, you agree to that, and you do it. Same goes for making time for content. If you have a set time every night, let's say, Daz, you work 9 to 5, right? You come home 6 o'clock, you have a dinner with your girlfriend, with your wife, you have a kid, whatever. Let's say you spend an hour or two with them, that's fine. 8 p.m. comes around, and that's your layover time until, let's say, 10 or 11 when you get sleepy. 8 p.m., you need to set every fucking day. Right, 8 p.m., what am I doing? I'm streaming. Am I learning to edit on Vegas? Am I learning After Effects? Am I making TikToks? That's a time you need to set aside every single fucking day, or every time inside your work schedule that you can give. That's that time you use. And once it becomes part of your daily routine, it's not time you have free anymore. It's such valuable advice for anybody listening, whether you're streaming or whatever. If you don't have that time in the first place, that's not time you have to do other things, to relax, to watch Netflix, to play games. If you give that time in the first place a purpose, from 8 o'clock till 10, I'm doing this project, and that's it every single fucking day, that's not time you have free. So once you use that time, you'll develop a schedule, you'll develop skills through that, whether it's through streaming, through editing, or through TikTok, whatever the fuck you want to do. And once you do that, that's then your stream schedule, that's then your work schedule. And you're going to see fruition from it. Once you stick to that schedule, it's going to work over time. Jenny, what's your opinion with that whole matter?
Oh, Christ. This is hard for me to answer. Number one, I'm so big. Big Boss said it in chat, that's why I was laughing. Number one, I'm shit at schedule. Holy fuck, I'm terrible. Like, really, really bad. So scheduling for me be out the window. I don't know if I can answer this correctly for younger streamers, Chris, and the reason is because I didn't stream till I was older. So I'd already done 90% of shit you do in life, in a sense. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
So I had the money there to just not have to worry and just whack out streaming and give it a shot. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not the right guy to look up to, because if it's me, like I'd be the type of fucker to say, fuck the job, boys, you know what I mean? Go full time. You know, have a go at it. Like, I respect the fuck out of Bisto Bob for what he's doing. I really do.
Yeah.
It's a risk. It's a risk. But I respect it. I respect the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Because regardless if it doesn't work out, if it works out, fair fucks. If it doesn't work out, don't beat yourself up. You tried.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
Do set a schedule to how much time you will be able to commit to before you are eating pot noodles.
Yeah.
That's the way you gotta look at it too. So that's the way I'm looking at it in that sense.
Yeah, no, and I think it all falls back to kind of being professional. You know what I mean? I feel like whether you can commit the likes of a full-time creator, or whether you can commit 3 hours a day, that time needs to be utilized. And no matter what you have from like I said, from an hour a day to 9 hours a day, that time needs to be utilized to the best of its ability. And if you want to grow, that is your window to show yourself to the world, to develop yourself and your content. That's your time to learn. For example, when I was doing streaming at the start, I wanted to upgrade my production quality, and I was like, right, what do I need to do here? I have two options. I can hire somebody on fucking Fiverr, or I can learn it myself. I'm a picky prick, so I learned it myself. Every fucking night after stream, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, whatever the time was, I'd spend an hour every single night learning After Effects. Every single night. So I'd stream fucking 5-6 hours, whatever, on top of meetings or whatever. Every night I'd have 1 hour or 2 hours to learn After Effects, to learn how to animate, to learn keyframing, to learn masking, all that shit. And eventually, by the end of the month, by the end of 2 months, I have the ability to fulfill whatever project I set my eyes on. And that whole mindset and that whole productivity works for anything. Whether it's streaming, you set a month. Let's say you start in March, 1st of March. You're like, right, every single day I'm going to commit 1 hour a night to streaming. By the end of that month of March, if you're doing it every single day after work, you're going to be socially a better person. You're going to be more used to talking to yourself. If you have no one in chat, you're used to that environment of, right, I need to make this entertaining. I need to start talking. I need to start doing this. It's all about experience, and it's all about giving yourself the time to learn these skills and to process, you know, whether it's streaming, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok, whatever, across the way, because time is your friend at the end of the day. It's your enemy as well, but having the time scheduled makes the difference, because once again, it's time that once you schedule in every day, it's time you don't have, and it's time that you should commit to.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I just want, like, obviously, so I just want people to remember as well, because I know content creation as a job is like a dream. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's one of the best jobs out there. You're your own boss, your own schedule, the whole lot. All right, you can work on which way you want it, but also don't forget to live a little. I will say that. I will say that to people. Don't forget to live a little, because you're only young once. All right, now, and this is talking from my experience, as in I started a lot older than a lot of you boys out there. Okay, I started streaming at 29. I'm now 31, so I'm speaking from older guys that start off late and go on. All right, so
Yeah.
for me, it's just don't forget to live, as well as, like, I know it's great, but there is other ways of doing it. There is ways that you can enjoy life and also do content. You can do content and build a platform over a couple of years while you're enjoying life and while you're focusing on, you know, things like that. There's plenty of time. So don't feel like it's a rush. Content creation and esports, all this is not going away. It's only going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away. So don't feel like you have to get in now, because you got to remember, the boys that are on the scene now won't be on the scene when you hit a certain age. So the likes of, we'll talk instance, for the likes of Trainwrecks, likes of Ninja, likes of Tifu, right? And I'm going to put myself in. I'm not in the same category,
on,
right?
Jenny,
For people to I'm going to put myself in the same category. In 4 to 5 years' time, the likes of the creators I've named, including myself, probably won't even be doing this anymore. And you've got the new guns coming in, the younger guys, the guys that are sitting in the chat now at 19 and 20.
Well, I'm gonna interrupt you, Jenny, and I'm gonna say, man, that I know what you're saying, but man, I feel like older creators have a different fucking vibe, but in a good way. I don't feel like there's an age on content creation, and it's why.
No. What I mean is, like, we've, like, obviously for myself, it's kind of like it's just got past. Like, it's like, you know, I've done it, and I'm happy, and I'm gonna go and just live me fucking life. I'm gonna go fucking to Bahamas for a couple of months. Fuck it, I've done.
Yeah.
You know, but where I'm looking at it is, and I'm not saying like the older guys can't still hold up the fucking numbers and stuff. I'm saying is that it's at some point where these guys are like, I've made enough money, I've done all the content I feel like I've done. I'm gonna go start a family, or I'm gonna go, you know, maybe because that, like, put it this way, I'm thinking about going back to fucking, not school, but I'm thinking of going to fucking college and get myself another degree. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? In 2 years' time, I might say to myself, fuck it, just because you're never too old to do something. I mean, couple of years, I might say, fuck it, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to get another degree, I'm going to work on this. It's all about trying different things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel anyway.
No, for sure. And to be honest, what you say right now is something that I'm slightly flawed at, is that for me, and you know this, Jenny, and you could definitely vouch for this, is
Stream's still there. You're okay. Go.
Yeah, stream's still there. I seen one of the boys saying stream dropped. I was like, bro. But yeah, no. One thing for me that's a big deal is you're talking about don't forget to like live your life and to do this and that. Man, I have sacrificed so much to do what I do. No. I haven't talked to friends in years that I feel fucking guilty about. I've like, you know, like my relationship with my girlfriend right now, it's absolutely amazing, but you know, I'd like to give her more time than I currently give her.
You're in too deep.
It's what I'm saying. You know it's I mean? Like I've sacrificed so much. Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like
saying for the new guys starting.
Yeah.
If they're only starting off and they want to be big and then they want to grow, I'm saying is don't fully focus on one thing because you'll kick yourself in a couple of years.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
You were lucky. You there's not many people that have sacrificed and it's paid off. It paid off for you.
Yeah, for sure.
But listen, that's a fucking drop in the ocean in this game.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I have to be brutally honest. You know what I mean? That's a drop in the ocean. You worked your bollocks off and it worked out. There's people out there who worked their bollocks off and it never got anywhere. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure, man, for sure. It's about finding the balance, and exactly. I see Mr. Bob saying it there. All comes back to scheduling, being efficient, stay fresh, and keep time for yourself. If you're able to do all of that and do it full time, props to you, because it's a big deal. Because I think everyone knows who's at a point where they're doing content near full time. You're not just streaming, like you're editing, you're doing social media, you're doing TikTok, and not only that, you're probably replying to emails, you probably have meetings and all this going on as well. And you know, going back to content, that's what it's all about. Content's king at the end of the day, and that's what's going to stick out. But as I said, you know, going back to what we said earlier, Jenny, about people in the scene and people trying to do something different and to stand out. We always talk about Jamie J. Carr in there as well, and I absolutely love that. It's guys like him who are gonna stand out and gonna be remembered. Like let's say the Irish content scene died tomorrow. Who are you gonna remember? Jamie J. Carr is my number one easily, just because of how different he is and what he does and how he commits himself to shit. And I absolutely love that. And I feel like if every creator has that mindset where they're like, right, I need to be different, I need to stand out, what do I need to do? Whether it's maybe your personality is so fucking sick that you do well on Twitch, whether it's fucking your YouTube content that your levels above the rest that you do bits, shit like that. And I know I talked to you about it, Genesis, but it's the reason why I'm doing stuff like Lad Nation. Like we're launching that now in the next month, and I cannot fucking wait to commit to full YouTube content. I've never gone into YouTube.
Fucking wait to know who's on the fucking roster.
Yeah, man.
I still don't know.
I honestly, I'm so excited. It's such a big deal. I have multiple things going on in the background, but man, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to give YouTube as big as a go as I give Twitch a go. That's the big thing for me. It's the YouTube content is the thing that has sustainability. If you build a YouTube audience, that's what's going to do well. So I'm really looking forward to giving it 110%. I've already invested thousands in it and no one even knows about it yet, which is the sad thing, but we're working on it. It's going to be released the next month, and it's just like
it's crazy. It is crazy, like what you're doing. Like, fair folks, like, so many people actually think I'm in it, and I'm like, I'm actually not a part of fucking Lad Nation. And they're all like, yeah, you're on the podcast now, but I'm like, boys, I'm not in Lad Nation. I swear to God. Like.
No, and I'm not asking for people to support it because it's Irish and this and that, but I want people to use this as like, right, like if Gara can do something like this and can fucking make a group and can make YouTube content and try to do something different, that anybody else can do it. That's the lesson I want to give. I want to, like, I'm nothing special. I'm just a normal fucking guy. I just want to bring, like Jake McBoss said in the chat, I want to up the standard. I want to bring YouTube content to a different level where not only Irish people can connect, but from outside audience can be like, yo, hold on, these Irish boys are doing bits. This quality is fucking sick. This is actually alright content. You know what I mean? And I like that a lot. And that's the idea I really want to bring across. It's not a project dissolved in the whole idea of, oh, only 5 guys are going to benefit from this, or 6 guys, or 7 guys, or whatever. I want just it to be a thing where everybody looks at a project like this and they're like, man, I'm going to fucking up my game. I'm going to do this and that. Going back to what we said earlier, Genesis, about the whole idea that you look at other creators and you're like, man, I need to do shit like that. I need to up my game. That's what I want to do. And I want everybody in the scene to hold themselves highly and to realize that they can go further than what they're doing. And I'm obviously not speaking for everybody there, but if you can compete with the UK scene, you're going to absolutely blossom. And I want everybody to have that mindset. That's how I feel.
Yeah, 100%. Like fair fucks to you, like honestly. I I feel like it's definitely going to change a lot, realistically. Like and I hope like at the same time I hope people like see it and start like really pushing content and grinding to get even a part of it or like even feature on something that you do, that kind of because
Yeah.
that's the thing, like as well, like with these kind of things, like with groups and businesses, they always look for other people to feature. So like if you're listening in, you're like, oh Lad Nation, I'd love to be a part of that, whatever. Get out and fucking do your content, push yourself and put yourself on the map. Because
No,
it's things
yeah.
like that change the game, you know what I mean?
Exactly. As I said, like it's about these steps in the Irish scene that people aren't doing. Let's say going back to what we said earlier. And I'm going to use him as an example. I know he's in chat right now. The likes of Ranners. The one person in the FIFA scene I think of, like in the Irish side of it, who's actually represented and who's done well on a worldwide scale, Jamie J. Carr. The likes of somebody who's done YouTube and he's done it in their own specific way that stood out completely from the rest. The likes of Rusher, who has completely captivated their own audience, completely blown out numbers that shouldn't even be there because of their own personality and their own work rate. It's people like that you need to look at and be like, you know what? They're doing fucking bits. They've represented. They put themselves on a scale that's way beyond the rest. And you need to look at these guys and be like, I need to replicate that. I need to put myself on the map. And everybody needs to not look at the scene, not look at other creators. Why am I not getting supported? Why are brands not working with me? Look at yourself, work at yourself, and, fruition will come if you're really at that level.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I just agree with everything there. 100%.
Yeah. So with that being said, Jenny, it's been a fucking. I can't believe we chatted about this for so long. And can I just say before we run this up, thank you everybody in the chat. The support for this episode in particular has been fucking nuts. Thank you so much everybody. Whether you're in the chat, you gave your opinion. Me and Jenny are all reading comments throughout this whole episode. If you think your comment was missed, a majority of the time it wasn't. We're reading every single comment. We're going through it. Me and Genesis wanted to use this podcast as for lack of better words, a beacon, just to give you guys, a little bit of a kick, being like, you know what, look at these guys in a good way, not in a negative way. Support these guys because they're doing something right, and because they're making steps that no one else has. That's what you should be looking forward. That's what you should be looking forward to. That's what you should be supporting. And I'm not saying you should support each other because you're Irish. Content's king at the end of the day. If somebody's shit, man, they're shit. That's it. But recognize the guys who are doing well in the scene and recognize the bits they're doing, because in years' time you're going to look back and you're going to be like, man, this guy done bits. Whether they do well, whether they completely blow off, you're going to be like, man, this guy did bits, fair play to them. They made their statement in the scene, and that's all that matters. We're going to continue this with a part 2 and possibly a part 3, Genesis. I think you agree. I think a lot of people in chat want to get involved.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely will have a chat there during the week, and we'll find our first guest to come on.
Our first guest? Yeah, that sounds interesting.
First guest to come on, because I'd like to get them on, hear their side of it. Obviously, like at the same time, it can turn into a very good discussion. It could turn into a fucking debate. You never know with us. You know what I mean? So, but no, I definitely want to hear from other people involved in Irish content, and especially people that feel like, the scene isn't what it should be. But just like at the end of the day, boys, regardless of how small you are or how big you are, just remember, don't be a fucking cunt. That's all I'm gonna say. Stay humble. Don't straight up, like, this is what you get with me.
Yeah.
Just remember that, just don't be a cunt. Focus on your work. If you're like another fucking creator, don't be afraid to hit them up and be like, listen, can I get some tips? Or would you fancy doing this? Or, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But as I said, always put yourself out there. Get out of your little fucking box. Push yourself out. Put yourself out into the content creation world. And hold your head up high and don't bitch if things don't go your way.
Yeah, 100%. I like that. And I'm going to open this to anybody in the chat right now. And anybody that has messaged me knows this. I'd say 99% of the time. If you do need any tips, guys, whether it's fucking anything in regards to video equipment, to streaming, to even general things, or even if you're not feeling the best, you can always DM the likes of myself. I'm sure Genesis feels like he's going to be open to a lot of people as well. DMs are always open, guys. If you need any tips, anything, whatever, even just to chat, you know, there are people around you, and there are people that want the scene to do well. Like the likes of myself, like the likes of Genesis, who want to see it flourish and want to see it do well. And we're here to support you guys at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. But yeah, listen, everybody, thank you so much for listening. To be honest, I've ended this episode, but I'm already looking forward to next week.
Yeah.
When we get people on, I can't wait to hear everyone else's kind of input on it. It's going to be our first episode with a special guest. I know it's kind of been planned on the fly, but we're going to rock it anyways.
We're gonna have to get a new fucking look.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a new look. We're going to have to mix up the video feed here.
Yeah.
But before we go, I know you had your spiel already, Genesis, but last words.
Last words. I love every single one of you. You are absolutely amazing. I appreciate every single one of you coming in. Can't wait to hear from more of you. And yeah, just remember, guys, just, you know, be you. You know what I mean? Just be you. That's all you gotta do. And if it works out, beautiful. If it doesn't, don't kick yourself. Just don't kick yourself, okay? That's all I ask.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's really good advice. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. He has been Irish Genesis. I've been The Gara Show, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. See you, guys. Good luck.
Good luck.